Good evening and welcome to the Town of Dudley Planning Board meeting for Wednesday, June 13th, 2018. Present this evening, Pamela Humphrey, clerk to the board, Dan Edmiston, member, Kevin Sullivan, member, our town planner, Don Johnson, and myself, Guy Horn Jr., vice chairman. We'll start off with our agenda for this evening. Item A, approval of meeting minutes from the May 23rd meeting.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from the May 23rd meeting.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I've read the minutes. I'll second that motion.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Takes care of the minutes from May 23rd. Next item on our agenda, item B, A&R Plan, 93 Old Southbridge Road, Roger and Joanne LaCourse, owners.
Good evening. I'm Bruce Fitzpatrick, professional land surveyor with Burton Engineering, and I'm representing the application this evening. It's a pretty basic plan. Don called the office earlier wondering if I was even going to come, but I believe we meet all the regulations and requirements of the board. We've got the area and the frontage on the town road that we need. I'm just here in case you folks have any other questions. So the lot one to the left as you're looking at the plan is the lot that we're cutting out this evening.
So lot 1 is coming off of lot 20?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That's to be built on?
Yes, it's a residential lot.
And there's no wetlands?
Nope.
And you're proposing a driveway grade of 5.8%?
Yep.
And it's a downward grade?
Yep.
So that first 25% that's tapering at 1%, that's almost flat at the top, so there's a, like
Yes, it is, yeah,
like a stopping spot before you pull out into the traffic?
correct.
Okay. And you're not asking for any waivers?
No, I believe we meet all the requirements.
There's no guardrails on the frontage of this?
None, no.
Questions?
No questions here?
I don't have any
None.
questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So seeing no questions, be looking for a motion to accept an A&R plan of land, site address, Old Dudley. Actually, it'd probably be better if I read it off the paper. Be looking for a acceptance of an A&R plan off of Old Dudley Southbridge Road. I'm looking for all the information.
All the
Oh, that's it, sorry. Excuse me, 93 Old Dudley, Old Southbridge Road, sorry. 93 Old Southbridge Road, D-Book 8613, page 52. Owners Roger and Joanne LaCourse. Dudley Tax Map 229, parcel number 32. No waivers requested.
I make a motion, we accept the A&R plan for 93 Old Southbridge Road as written.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yep, I will second that we accept the A&R plan as read.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
2 copies signed or just 1?
Copies and,
In the Mylar.
actually, these are the original signatures, so.
Okay.
Is this just the pen?
Done? All those signatures in here?
Yeah.
That's the minutes, okay. But you had 2 copies?
It's 2 there.
There we go. What is it? There you go, Kevin. Grab the Mylar.
You just have one of these?
Once more. Oh, yeah. Thanks. Need to go blue and orange. Trend.
Okay, quiet.
Is there extra? Yeah. Blank copies.
That's the funny guy.
It's all set. Perfect.
Okay, moving on. I believe we have another gentleman here tonight with another A&R plan. If you could come forward and present your information. You can leave him the check and let us see the paperwork. Yeah.
My name's Tim Callahan, I'm a park consultant
Okay,
out of Millbrae. One lot on Northwest Schoolhouse Road. It's a 6-acre lot, 602 foot of frontage. Conforms to all the regulations. We have 5-foot contours rather than 2 foot, because 2 foot would be just too much, it's too steep in there. So we wanted to keep it clean.
Permanent plan? Is it a permanent plan? or
No,
is
it's
that-
creating a new plan. This is the existing owner,
Yeah, the owner's on both sides.
Okay.
so they're carving it out
The
of,
son is actually.
okay.
And this is just on North Schoolhouse Road?
Right, it's south of Dresser Hill Road.
Right, I
maybe.
wasn't sure if any of it was on Dresser Hill Road.
No.
See the
Probably-
locus is right here?
Oh, I didn't see, okay,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Lots of left with plenty of frontage then, right?
Pardon?
Lots of left with plenty of frontage?
Yeah,
There are
602
two.
feet.
You have two, you have a lot on either side, I mean.
Yeah, like this lot has
So that's
156.
just to a driveway, that's just a tie.
Okay, so there's
That's
plenty,
not- yeah,
plenty of
there's a
frontage
lot
on
of
either
land
side.
goes there.
Okay. We don't want to approve a lot if it's going to make something non-conforming.
Oh. No, there's a lot of land.
It's in Res 87, so he's got that covered. Is there a upland?
Wetlands?
Yeah,
There's a little bit of wetlands in this corner here. And
okay.
Gary Gomes, the son is going to be building on it. He's going to be building over 200 feet of it from that level.
Okay. Yeah, it's a huge lot for a house, so.
Mhm.
The grade at the road is right at the road. It comes up maybe 4%, and then it'll go up to about 6% to the house. And the house is going, there's an existing barway right here.
And the grade is up above the road, you said,
Right,
not down below.
No,
Okay.
it isn't that down the road.
And there's no guardrails on this street?
No.
Okay.
Is he building on top of the hill or a little bit down?
Not the top, yeah.
Slope.
Almost to the top. Protected from the wind and the weather.
That's there. You guys want a copy to look at? or-
Looks, this looks to be okay from here.
Right.
Not seeing anything.
Okay. Put this over here. This is the Form A.
Yeah.
So the meeting minutes, right?
It's got 2 copies.
We have to sign the old meeting minutes, right?
Okay.
We haven't done that yet.
All right, so there is a couple of waivers, but not waivers that we haven't dealt with before.
No waivers for the.
So they're asking for the 5-foot contours
Yeah.
on the topography, location of wetlands, and profile of existing grades. We've reviewed all these before.
So it's not anything.
No. On a 6-acre lot, it's not a big deal. I mean, if they're building on a 2-acre lot, then, yeah.
Might be something.
And then
Okay. Okay, so we've been presented with an A&R plan for Northwest Schoolhouse Road. Owner applicant Barbara R. Gomes. Deed book 56372, page 307, Dudley tax map 209, parcel, is that number 1 or 7? Do you know? 1, parcel number 1, okay. And there are 3 waivers requested, so we'll vote on the waivers first. So the first vote would be to waive topography contours from 2-foot intervals to 5-foot intervals. There's also a waiver requested for the location of the wetland resources. The applicant's engineer just described to us that there's only a small portion of wetlands in one corner of the lot, and it is a 6-acre lot in a 2-acre zone. And they're asking for a waiver on the profile of existing grades to get to the lot, but based on the topography that he shows, it's going uphill and it looks rather smooth at that entrance where they're gonna have a driveway. So if somebody would like to make a motion for those 3 waivers?
I make a motion, we accept the 3 waivers for Northwest Schoolhouse Road as read tonight.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor for the waivers?
Aye.
Unanimous? Okay, next we'll have a vote to accept the A&R plan on Northwest Schoolhouse Road. Barbara R. Gomes, owner applicant, deed book 56372, page 307, Dudley tax map 209, parcel number 1. Again, creating a 6-acre lot in a 2-acre zone.
I'll make a motion to accept the A&R plan as read.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the A&R plan. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Okay, I'll sign this.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Can you sign this one?
We'll start with that.
Bless you. Allergies done?
Pretty sure you're not just sick of us?
No, there's a lot of openings. A lot of openings out there.
Squeeze it in. Thank you. Yep, there's actually 3 here, but I signed the top 2. A little bit more.
Hmm?
A little bit more. Thank you. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Minutes in the meeting. Yeah, the extras.
Are these gold? Back here?
Extra ones. Yep.
Just one?
Thank you.
Yeah, let me get the check for the right amount.
$100.
A lot, right? Okay, should be all set.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You're welcome. Have a
Thank you.
good night.
Have a nice one.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, that ends the A&R portion of the meeting, and we'll move on to item C, discussion status report on finishing construction of and acceptance of uncompleted, unaccepted subdivision streets, including Pierpont Estates, Rocky Hill Estates, Piasta Road, Oakview Estates, Country View Estates, Tobin Farm Estates, Misty Meadows, Partridge Hill Road. Final inspections associated with site plans, including Dunkin' Donuts and Amp Solar. Yeah, so can you fill us in on that, Dawn?
Okay, let's just summarize it quickly, huh?
Yep.
Checked out most of these pretty recently, some of them as early as Monday, or Tuesday. Pierpont hasn't done too much more work right now. Tony's still working with Jeff Walsh on the drainage. They're gonna meet sometime over the next couple of weeks, and he'll be in on the 27th to talk about possibly some waivers on the granite throw stones.
Okay.
Done some of the did a little more sidewalk work, but it's still going on. There's still building going on in the last section too, so this progress. Rocky Hill Estates is here.
Come on up. Yeah. And we talk about all the unfinished subdivisions every week, or every other week that we're here.
Okay. Is there anything in particular regarding?
Well,
Why don't you tell us what you're here for?
First of all, I know that I believe we're on the agenda for the release of one lot in the subdivision from the covenant. But in
among other
addition,
things.
sorry?
Among other things. I was going to
Yes.
summarize that, we've had an inspection, there's been work on Bona Drive, is it?
Bona Road,
Bona
yes.
Road.
Yep, it's part of the subdivision, but it's on another side of it, so they're putting in a road. In addition to that, I was told by National Grid that we need to get a letter from the town of Dudley saying that street lamps are not required.
Okay.
And again, the road will have 6 lots, 6 homes on it. There's a street lamp right at the end of it, and each home is going to have its own electrical lamp out front. And I don't know if that's something that the town can provide to me tonight, or the planning board. I was actually really unaware that we needed from National Grid. It was kind of the woman that I'm talking with kind of emailed after the fact and said, by the way.
Okay, so there are streetlights in the subdivision, but they're requesting or requiring you to put it on this new street that you're...
They're just requesting a letter from the town saying that they're not required.
Okay. How long is it? This is a cul-de-sac, this last street, right?
I'm sorry?
It's a cul-de-sac or a dead-end street, the last...
Yes, it's a dead-end street. It's on the opposite. It's not on the main. I know the subdivision's huge. It's kind of on the opposite end, but it is just a straight road, a cul-de-sac, dead end.
How long is it?
I'm sorry?
How long is the road?
500 feet?
How much is it?
500 feet.
500,
500 feet?
right.
Okay, so it's under maximum length. Do we have any maps of this?
Say it again?
Did you say that there already was a street light?
At the end of
At the end, right, the street lamp? At the beginning? Not on Eagle Drive, not on Bona Road, but it's right
But
at the
it's
very
near the
beginning, the
intersection. It's near
entrance.
the intersection.
Right,
Okay.
the corner.
Okay.
This is section 4.
It's a big map.
Big subdivision.
Right, I have the copy here if you need.
Yeah.
Subdivision.
Smaller.
Yeah, you can look
Yeah,
at that.
let's look at your smaller map, please, if you don't mind,
That's right.
because that's a tablecloth. Okay.
I can
This is off.
Yeah.
talking about. So we're on the other end. Right over here.
So is there a map that actually shows that?
We had the plans going on road. I don't know if you have that in place.
Well, Pat, did you ever record the certificate at the registry that says the name was changed? I couldn't find it.
I know.
I couldn't find it.
She called me and said something. It's these lots over here.
So this is gonna be the cul-de-sac here?
Right at the end.
I'm sorry, but do you have a booking page or is it being recorded? It was approved in 2014, the name
Right,
change.
no, I have,
Indian Road?
it says it on me, but I
Yeah,
found it.
that's the road that comes
You get
down
that
by
to
the,
me?
it's not
Copy.
built all the way
Page
down
on
there.
Right.
So it stops like up here,
Yep.
way up here, but this is, if it was to ever continue, it could come down and
Yes.
connect.
But it doesn't continue.
No, it's just,
So why would that be?
because when they did the plan, this plan is from
1980.
Yeah.
it's an 80.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so that's
That
right.
must
This
have
was,
been the
that's,
plan.
you had
Yeah.
planned this street a long time ago, correct?
Right, they did
That's right.
all the other subdivision, they're still
Yeah.
on it, but this is just another, it's weird, it's like kind of connected, but it is part of this main
Right.
subdivision.
Okay, so,
What is it off of, if
Off
you're
of
coming
Eagle.
off of Eagle,
This
right?
is
Where
it
is
goes
it?
right here, at the elbow.
So bad with the directions.
It's right
What's up here? I'm just confused.
Um, Eagle at the elbow, so it's right here. This is where we're looking at. So here's Eagle
Indian
Drive.
Road is going down.
cul-de-sac?
It's not gonna go through to Indian Road, because Indian Road is not
Boston.
present.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, but
Indian Road is just a path and it's
all the way down.
town,
This is very
town-owned,
old, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Ritchie Way or whatever.
Yeah.
it's,
They're going all the way through though.
Rocky Road comes off of, and goes up, right, correct? Rocky Road comes up to here, correct? Yeah,
Right, then it turns into.
it turns into Eagle, right. That's what was confusing
You
me.
go around the corner and it's like, in like the,
Before you come to Joseph, or?
right,
Before you come to
like
Joseph,
if you know where
on the
hill
left,
is,
yep.
You'll see like, if you go on
And
the
this
left,
electric
you'll
pole
see.
is here and
Okay,
got the
so
It's
left.
gonna just go
Okay.
back
Okay.
there.
And the Kawasaki is, here.
Here, yeah.
Right, it's a dead end.
This is
Okay.
6
So they're
lots.
basically
Three
gonna
lots on each
put a
side.
cul-de-sac
Yeah.
here and have 3 lots on each side.
On
We're
each side, okay.
developing- We're developing already.
So is any work on this street been done yet?
Yeah, we almost got it next week for the asphalt.
Next week, you're gonna put
Next week put the happen.
binder course?
Yeah, Banda. Yeah, we already put the pipe.
And
Yes,
did
there's engineer check already.
engineer check the
Yeah,
pipes?
already checked.
That's
Check the
okay.
pipes, yeah, he did.
Right.
Yeah.
The cover's going over the pipes, so it's there. Yesterday, the day before when I was there. Yeah,
We compact, compact that one.
Yep.
that
You put the
one.
gravel in, and
Gravel,
now you're
compact,
ready.
then we go.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Weird question.
I just had
Is
to
the
get a
cul-de-sac going to overlap with Indian Road? Does that Indian Road have a future?
That's what makes me
Yeah.
up so much. I like Indian
If it,
Road, that's
if it
not
did,
West
they would
Main.
just connect them later.
Okay.
That's all.
The edge,
Okay.
like,
If it, in 20 years from
If
now,
it ends
somebody
up
builds
all-
an
Those
Indian Road,
plans, right.
they'll just connect them up.
And Dudley land is looking at there, it's just, it's not, it's just straight road.
Yeah,
cul-de-sac,
basically to get here, you'd have
cul-de-sac,
to go over the old dump,
there's no
Mm.
because that Indian
Uh-huh.
Road goes down and ends at the dump.
Okay.
down the hill.
Yeah, because I know where the.
Yeah, I used to
know where the
deliver
dead
mail
end
up through there,
areas
so.
up there.
so
Scratched my
I
head
know
at it a
all
few
that.
times.
I just, like, I have the one road plan, I should-
Did some four-wheeling over there the other
So what
day.
are we doing tonight? What are you asking for?
Which lot are
tonight?
you
Listen
looking
to
to
the
release?
GPS
Is it
as
lot
we
12,
rode,
or?
so four-wheeling in my car.
That's on the other side of the street? It's on this side of the street?
What side of the street is it 815 on? That's the one next to Fulford House, right?
Like this, look.
Which lot is it?
Oh, that's a first one.
Is it over here?
That's a that one.
What side? Oh, it's on
Oh,
this
it's
side.
not,
Yeah, that's a 1 acre.
Do you have any paperwork for this, Don, or? No?
On the road.
For having, releasing the lot?
so
Shouldn't
to
there-
release a lot, there's, what is it, it's a Form E?
Right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm surprised, so we can't
Usually,
really.
they're pretty, I think there'd be a bond in place, wouldn't there?
In the past, we got, we obviously released, didn't have, it's basically this, or this Form E, certificate of in that Dudley, and I drove my own kind of, just in case, because I didn't know.
I don't know if you can release it tonight, because release is subject to something else, but it's not really ready for release tonight. Be signed off tonight, because it's just, the sub-bases.
Right, what we could do is we could make a vote tonight contingent, to your having the paving complete and the engineer inspecting the pavement.
Don, would you finish what you were
Some kind of
saying?
security,
They'd have to give their $3,000.
yeah.
So what, shouldn't we wait for that before we?
Do you have a check for tonight?
Yeah, I got it.
I just didn't have a copy of this form, which I
Mm-hmm.
think is
Well,
Subject to the paving going down, base coat going down, sidewalks,
an inspection.
inspections.
Can't we wait 2 weeks until this is done before we?
It would be cleaner if you guys could bring us the form back, the
Yeah.
right form back, and have a letter from
I
the,
actually don't have that form.
well, he can give you a copy of
Yeah,
the
so
form. Yeah, we can get you a copy of the
And
form.
if we're gonna need to rustle up a letter from the town for Nat Geo, Nat Grid.
The other thing is pretty pressing.
We wouldn't do that, would we?
Okay, I wait 2 weeks, I wait 2 weeks and only I looking for that, for the grid, that letter.
The letter.
Right.
And that one I wait.
So what we can do is we can vote tonight that we'll have the town,
Why would we vote on
27th.
anything? I'm not sure why we're voting for anything.
we're gonna vote tonight on giving Dawn, direction to talk with the town administrator and find out if the letter should come from this board or if it should come from the Board of Selectmen, because the Board of Selectmen typically handle streetlights in the town
Okay,
of Dudley.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So what, I'm still not sure what we're voting
We're
on.
just gonna vote to have Dawn address the issue of the streetlights, because they
Okay.
need a letter for National Grid, either from the, I don't know if it should come from this board or if it should come from the
It's
Board of
us.
Selectmen.
I think they must have been waived in the original
Really?
subdivision, because there's all like post lights in front of yards, there's no,
But there is, she said there is some streetlights.
yeah, and the intersection, right.
Yeah.
There should be
But
one
not
there.
on the street.
Yeah, at Eagle
At
Drive.
the intersection, there should be one there, all right.
You said it's on Eagle Drive?
I mean, if
Right at the
there's,
corner.
if there's one at the intersection, that's really all you
It's
need.
like right where the road.
But I don't know if it's this board's prerogative to waive a streetlight. I think we have
Yeah.
to, I think we would have to
Isn't there
have,
an approved plan someplace that should have?
yeah, from maybe
You would think.
1975.
Yeah, there was,
Well, we have the plans for Bonner Road that we submitted, and I don't know.
But after a plan is approved, don't you have a certain amount of time before it has to be constructed? Before that permission is no longer there?
goes with the land,
Hmm?
unless the zoning changed.
Right.
Okay.
And they're not affected by any zoning changes in the town of
There's no
Dudley.
going to- Okay, that
They,
makes sense.
they actually did, but they reshaped the lots.
So, I just don't know who's responsible for the letter.
Ultimately, they would be if it was a public street, but I think, and I'll check into it, but I think it might be part of the subdivision control action of the planning board, because it was approved without the streetlights, with the post lamps instead.
Okay. So then
Really
we,
common.
that's your opinion.
Certainly check into it before I file it.
Yeah, I agree.
Check with Greg.
Okay.
So they expect to see a light at the end of the cul-de-sac, is that correct? They being the electric company.
They literally just need a letter from the town saying that street lamps are not required, that they're not necessary. That's all. They said
Additional
they-
street lamps aren't necessary because the plan was approved such and such way. Plan was approved, without streetlights and with individual pole lamps.
That's what
post
they
lamps.
asked for, they need a letter either way.
So it doesn't sound like they're pushing for it, they just want
They just need the cable wire.
for them.
As part of it, and it wasn't, they don't know why it wasn't included in the application form or anything. The woman who I'm dealing with emailed to ask me that after the fact. And I can always go back and try to get more information on it, but again, and I believe my dad spoke to you, and that's why he thought it was planning board.
Yeah.
Okay.
You told me planning board approved, that
Cool.
letter.
We're just
I talked to
concerned
them
because
2 weeks ago.
we need the electric company to put it in.
So,
It's gonna delay things if we have to wait for another planning board.
again, what I would say is,
Wait.
let's vote on it tonight, that we give it to Dawn, and if he comes back with the, that it's within our purview, that he could write a letter, and then he could just email me, and I could come in and sign the letter, and they could give you the letter. But we'll vote tonight that we'll instruct Dawn to find out if it can come from only the planning board, or if it has to go through the Board of Selectmen. If it doesn't have to go through the Board of Selectmen, he'll type up the letter, I'll sign it, we'll give it to you as soon as it's ready. You won't have to wait 2 weeks. But
Yeah,
we need to find out whose responsibility it is, because typically, anything to do with streetlights goes before the Board of
Yeah.
Selectmen.
Yeah, I asked the building inspector, everybody, and
I don't know why she,
he gave me an idea, planning board was to do
I think in a subdivision, it's the planning board, but I'll check into that to be sure.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Because we've never,
Before the street's accepted, in other words. you
right,
know.
we've never had this come up before, so,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, I'm hearing that, I might just go back to him and push a little bit more information. I didn't know if it was like
This
this is the
is,
first time I've heard of it. Like I said, it wasn't like in the application. for
That's
the
your
zoning
paperwork.
for me to fill out for
Right.
National Grid, so.
and this is,
Yeah, this is for us.
Who knows?
I don't know. And then we'll come back for the release of the lot.
for the lot,
Right.
yeah. It would be good if the rough pavement's down
Okay.
and it gets inspected by the engineer, so we know that because technically to have a lot release, you need to have adequate access to get to that lot. So if it's just dirt, it's not really adequate access, you want to have the pavement down so that you can at least get to it.
Okay.
And if you get that pavement done and have the engineer inspect it and he says it's okay, then.
And Don should have a check before the meeting, shouldn't he?
And the
Yeah,
form,
Yeah.
and the form filled out, which Don can give you a copy of the
Okay,
form.
that'll be really
Mhm.
helpful, because I drove my own form.
Right.
Yeah.
The template we can use.
Right, yeah, the one that we always use,
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
didn't have access to that, so, I just pulled that out, but.
Okay. So, yeah, basically, I think we just make a vote tonight on having Don investigate where the letter comes from for the street light. And if it does come from this board, we're giving Don permission to go ahead and draw that letter up. And then you can just email me whenever it's done and I can stop in and sign it. I don't think we have to have the whole board sign it. And then we can give it to the applicant.
I make a motion that we give Don Johnson leeway to investigate, and if it is the planning board's jurisdiction, he can write up a letter concerning the light fixtures, and Guy Horn will sign it for us.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. So,
Now, that wasn't what we were originally going to talk about, though, for Rocky Hill.
yeah, I think it's the
Well,
lot
just-
release.
It's going to update you on it. It's like I said, the drain pipes are in. And they're
Where,
doing the,
who,
so-
what are we still talking about Rocky Hill now? What are we talking about?
yeah, in this road that we're talking about for,
Still talking about?
The new cul-de-sac.
Okay.
new cul-de-sac
I thought
on
it was-
a road, yes.
Is that everything with Rocky Hill?
We're gonna just talk about what he knows about your subdivision. If you want to stay, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Over the past 2 weeks, the drainage has gone in. It's been inspected by Rave Engineering, and he didn't do the report yet, but I guess he found it to be satisfactory. He was working on the report last I talked to him yesterday, or the day before, so. Earlier this week, when I went out there, the Chinakis were covering the drain pipes and doing the subgrade. All the right-of-way has been excavated, so that's well on the way.
Okay.
And they're doing the compacting and all, and I guess they'll be doing the sub-base next, and then, what's your time frame on doing the pavement, do you know? The rough pavement? First go to pavement?
Yeah, because we wait, we got one crossing for the electric.
Okay.
We wait for, we got all papers ready for that electric, for the grid.
Yep.
Just that letter, keep us.
Okay,
Somehow we
work on
try
it.
to do something.
Okay.
And
Okay, we'll work on it quickly.
Engineer know exactly what happened. One crossing. And that's it for that paving.
You could bury it.
First house, I got an electric pole.
Yeah.
That's a connect, straight.
Okay.
And that not.
But if you're waiting for the electric to be run before you want to pave, you could put a conduit under the roadway and they could run the wire later.
Yeah, that's a.
They're doing different way. You put the binder, and then you dig the trench for the electric wire.
Hmm.
That's what we did on the right.
Pipes, yeah.
Yeah.
We put a pipe, that's about waiting for that, for the grid.
Yeah.
Because that engineer, grid engineer, call us how many pipe we must put it.
Yeah.
3 of them, 2 of them, and that's it.
So you have the pipes in already.
Yeah, we put the pipe and that's it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's that letter keep us, for everything.
But the letter's just for the streetlights.
Right, but
Yeah,
they
that's
won't, they won't
street.
proceed with anything
Yeah.
until they have that. That's what
Okay.
she had
Everything
told me.
already just for the street
So
lights
they're-
she wanted.
Which
They're
she told me
holding,
again
they're holding them
without
up on the electrical
that.
services until they have the letter for the streetlights.
To cover
That's
themselves.
not, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's too bad, but we didn't
Yeah.
know anything about it until just now.
Okay, well, see what we can do.
Yeah,
We're going.
that's fair.
Is that everything on Rocky Hill?
That's all we have right now.
Okay.
The road's well on the way.
Yep.
It's the subgrade. I imagine they'll be putting the sub base on soon and then the pavement.
Very cool.
Okay.
I don't know what the time frame is for the pavement, but I presume by what they're talking to, it's a matter of weeks.
Right. All right, so the next one on the list is Piasta Road?
We're all done with Rocky Hill, correct?
Yeah.
We're all-
Done.
we're all set. Thank you.
Have a good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Nope, nothing has been done.
Nothing's been done on Piasta Road yet. But we do know that the developer has met with,
Oh, yeah.
with you and Dan Guyon and the engineer, and they're proposing to finish it this year.
Definitely want to finish it this year.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
What has
that's,
to be done yet on Piasta?
It's from the hill down to the
Top
end.
coat, right?
The top coat, a little bit of repair to the base coat, just structures and stuff like that.
Dan, you live on Piasta, right?
I'm asking.
The other side,
Oh, the other
hill,
side, I'm at the
I thought-
beginning, so
the side of the hill, right?
I'm at the very beginning.
okay. So that one looks like it, I think that one will get finished up this year, because I think there's quite a bit of money involved in the escrow account.
$27,000. It's a fair amount of money.
Okay. The next one on the list is Oakview Estates, and you did give me some paperwork on this one, so I think this one, all we need to do is close out the escrow balance, is that correct?
Looked into that, it's been open, occupied for quite a while, it looks very nice.
Yeah.
Well done, I think. And I also got the reports, research back from the reports from Graves Engineering, and he inspected at least up to the base coat, I believe, and everything was found satisfactory.
Okay, so, on Oakview Estates, this is the 55 and older subdivision that's off of Old Southbridge Road. There's a balance of $407.51 in the escrow account. So we would just need to someone to make a motion to return the $407.51 to the developer, David Vickus.
I just have one question.
Sure.
That would stay a private road?
Yes.
Okay.
That was part of the,
The homeowner's documentation too.
right, it was
Okay.
part of the approval for that subdivision that it could
It'd always be.
it could never become a public road.
Okay, all right.
So that was a stipulation when we approved it. Some 10 years ago.
And closing the escrow account is basically just saying all the work's done, no longer need the funds,
Right.
you can have them back.
Yeah, I mean, $407 wouldn't do much anyways,
Yeah,
so,
penny saved is a penny earned.
yeah.
Well,
Or a
I'll
stop
make,
sign.
I'll make a motion to close the escrow account for Oakview Estates for a total of $407.51.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. So that's one subdivision off the books. Complete.
Progress.
The next one we have is Country View Estates, Eisenhower Drive.
Our neck of the woods.
The developer, the owner of the development company, Mr. Heaney, was served by the constable yesterday.
Okay.
Haven't heard anything yet.
Haven't heard anything yet. Okay. So I guess we just gotta wait for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just one thing I just noticed before, we're on E, I just wanna go, oh no, we're not there yet, I'm sorry. The next
Oh, there
one.
was there's a note, there's an email too. I put a copy of it there from Dan Guyon.
Right,
I think it's $7,100, $7,500 to
seal coat the road.
seal
Yeah.
coat and, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of Mr. Heaney's complaints last time he was here, that he didn't feel like he needed to have to seal coat the road, but if he had completed the road in a more timely fashion and turned it over to the town, he wouldn't have had to do this. I mean, it's
Mm.
been years that it's been sitting there.
Oh, Dan didn't say anything about it, but I noticed there's the tip of the cul-de-sac, there's a catch basin area. Adjacent to that, this pavement's kind of wavy,
Right, so,
like it's breaking up.
breaking up.
Talked to him about that, too. It's probably a relatively minor issue in the whole thing, but,
Yeah. Probably something that could get fixed when you're seal coating it, before they seal coat it.
yeah, right.
Okay. So we'll have to wait for that. We did our due diligence in sending them the letter, so. The next one is the one that I have to make a comment on F, Tobin Farm Estates. I don't know if, did everybody get that email that you sent to me, Don, about the treasurer's email about taking the small portion of land with the dam?
Yes.
Okay, so,
Copy in here, too.
what I'm just gonna say about that is, the town of Dudley was given a piece of land, years ago, from Stevens Linen Mill that had a dam on it, and I know that to date, we've spent an exorbitant amount of money
Keeping the dam.
keeping the dam up to the state standards, because you have to do yearly inspections, you have to have a dam safety plan put in place, you have to do an awful lot of work when you own a dam. So my opinion on that piece of land, it's only 2/10 of an acre, whether they owe back taxes on it or not. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, honestly, because I think all we're gonna do is put the owners of that land in a better position if we own it, because now we're gonna be responsible for doing it all.
Mhm.
I'd say just let them.
Even though nothing's been paid on it, and they don't seem to have any,
Let them, because then, when they do need to have a dam
That's still-
safety plan and all that stuff, the state will go
Understand.
after them, and they won't come after us.
I understand, I
Mhm.
agree.
I mean, I think we just need to alert the Board of Selectmen and the treasurer to this fact that, if we do take it by tax title, we could be putting ourselves in jeopardy of having to spend a lot of money to own that 2/10 of an acre.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree.
in my opinion, it's not worth the hassle for a quarter acre of land, less than a quarter of acre of land. Let them own it, and if there's issues with the dam and there's issues with the state, then they're gonna be responsible for it. Because I think if we take it, we're gonna be the responsible party, and it's gonna cost the taxpayers money.
So what would the future of this piece of land be if we're not gonna take ownership for it and they're not paying for it right now?
I mean, how much taxes could you collect on a 2/10 acre piece of land in the course of a year? Not much. It's not buildable.
Yeah.
It's got a dam on it. I
The
mean,
owner's local?
and the owner's local.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I think, my opinion,
Just let it lie.
just let it lie and have, notify the state that there's a privately owned dam in town, and if they want to pursue it, let them pursue it.
If it's an emergency, they probably could go out and take it by eminent domain or something,
Yeah.
The state would?
possibly.
No, if the state owned it, then we wouldn't have to deal with
I
it.
don't think would they take it at all. They'd probably just go on there and they'd have the authority to go on there and do the work if they need to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of dam it is, or, all I know is the one with Stevens Linen Mill. After we got that piece of land for free, they gave it to us, it came with the old dye house, we had to have that torn down, and that cost money, and then we had to do all kinds of work to the dam, and that cost a lot of money, so I think on this one, we should learn from our past,
Lesson learned.
yeah. And not even try to take this by eminent domain or by tax title or any of the above, just leave it alone. Hands off. That would be
Yeah.
my opinion.
Sounds reasonable.
Now, who would be in charge of making that decision of taking the land? Would that be the select?
The treasurer.
Treasurer would do
Treasurer
it.
and the Board of Selectmen, but I think we should give them our recommendation
Right.
based, and I think the Board of Selectmen know this too.
Yeah.
So maybe just us reminding them, we'll be like, oh yeah, we don't want
that.
any more dams.
Exactly, right.
So, yeah, I think I mean, unless we have to take it, I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
There's another aspect of that subdivision too that would be for us. Talked to George Slingo. He is coordinating with the name of the company. It's a surveyor that branched off from Burton Engineering, what's his name?
Kozerski?
His name is Jason, I think, is his first name?
Okay.
Or whatever, it doesn't matter, but he's doing the as-built plans, and he asked that he get paid directly from the bond, or the escrow, whatever you want to call it. He get paid directly from the escrow rather than going through the old company that's now bankrupt.
Okay.
Town treasurer says we can do that as long as they bill it to the town.
The only thing I would say is that I know, I know there's a reasonable amount of work left to be done there, and I don't think there's enough money in that escrow account to cover it, so
Put a
I-
cap on it.
I would wanna make sure that, you know, we don't pay out for the as-built plan, and then they come back and tell us they can't put the monuments in because there's no money left.
I think he's not planning on spending any more than, let's say, like 60% of what's there, 80% of it. If you want a dollar figure, I don't think he wants to spend more than 10,000. I think it's almost 13,000. But I think he doesn't want to spend more than 10,000.
Because I know that, the things that I know that need to be, that are not done, that needed to be done, and we're either gonna have to waive them, or if we require them to put them in, you know, even if we required them to put them in, we wouldn't have enough money in the escrow account to do it, because I know there's,
3,000 will be enough then.
there's a large portion of sidewalk that's missing, and I think they're gonna ask for a waiver on that.
Yeah.
There's a part of a detention basin that was never built, and I think they're gonna ask for a waiver on that. There's some safety railing or guardrail, wooden guardrail fences that were not
Or just
completed.
repairing that.
He's repairing that?
He's taking care of that one.
Okay, and then the granite monuments have to be put in?
Right.
And then, I don't know if there was street trees or not in that subdivision. I can't remember if we waived them or not.
Which subdivision is this?
This is Tobin Farms.
Imagine there were, most of the subdivisions were being approved with street trees about that time.
Yep.
Early 2000s.
Is that whole company out bankrupt, did you say?
Yeah.
The whole, okay.
Yeah, so I think, you know, I don't have a problem doing what they're asking for, but I think we should get a total, I think we need to get a total list of work that is incomplete, and they're either gonna ask for waivers, or work that they are gonna complete. Because like I said, I just don't wanna see us paying that money out, and then once it's gone, and we have no recourse. Then we're gonna be forced to give waivers on everything.
I could ask him to bring in a comprehensive list, maybe the next meeting or the first one in July.
Yeah, just give us a list of what's
Whatever's
remaining to
schedule
be
was up.
done, what they're gonna request for waivers, because I mean, I don't feel comfortable personally, I don't feel comfortable waiving the sidewalks, because I think down the road we could get ourselves into trouble, but I honestly don't see any way of the sidewalks going in. So, if all the homeowners that are there are fine with that, I mean, we might not have a choice if we wanna get the road accepted, there might not be any other way. But I know for sure we don't wanna waive the granite bounds, because once the town takes it over, we need to know where the property lines are and things like that.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. It's part of the as-bills too.
Right, so we need the bounds for sure, we need the as-built plans.
Say granite, I think they use concrete.
Concrete, yeah, whatever.
What they do is they use concrete, and they put a rod down the middle, so
Yeah,
metal
that's-
detector can find it.
That's fine,
Yeah.
but we need something to delineate the roadway from the property. And we need, you know, like if they wanted the waivers on the sidewalk, the street trees, and the catch basin, or the detention basin, I'm not too worried about the detention basin, given the fact that that subdivision's 15-plus years old, and if there was a water problem, I think by now we would have known about it. Nobody's come to us and said, hey, we got a water problem because there's a half-built detention basin here, so whatever they did build is obviously working. So, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem waiving that, but, yeah, I think we need to just have a list of what's not done, what they're gonna ask for waivers, and then what they are gonna have completed, and what the money's gonna pay for. Because I know 13,000 is not enough to put in the sidewalk that's missing. It's a big chunk missing on the back half of the loop. But-
It would almost be nice to have all those decisions made, or those improvements made, and then have the as-bills as well.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna get a set of as-bills that won't be accurate based on what gets done later on.
But I think the thing is that they're kind of like working at hand to mouth, so the engineer's not gonna do all the work for free and then wanna get paid later, he wants to get paid now.
Yeah.
So, but I think the least we need is the list of what's done, what's not done, and what they're gonna propose for waivers, so that we can digest that and see what's left to be done. I mean, I don't think it's that much, I think it's basically what I just said, as far as I can remember. I don't know if there's something else that I missed.
Looks like you hit them all.
Because I think they got the streetlights in, they were only gonna put 4 streetlights in there.
Yeah, I haven't really checked that, though.
I think the streetlights are all in, they were like custom-made ornamental streetlights that they had put in. And I believe that that subdivision was approved before we had the tanker truck, so they had to put in a cistern.
Yeah, I asked George about that, too, and he told me that it's been filled.
With water,
Yeah,
so it's ready to go.
yeah, it's ready to go, it's filled.
Okay, so we should have them get a letter from the fire chief saying that that's all set.
Okay.
Because there might have been multiple cisterns in that subdivision, but I think the first one went in phase 1, I think they put the cistern in there, and then I don't think they had to put one in phase 2, because that was when we've already purchased the tanker truck, so. But it would be nice to know how many are there and what if they're in working order, and that the fire chief knows about them and that it's all set.
I think he told me he had a receipt for that, so,
Okay.
yeah, we'll check with him on that one. Sure.
Okay. But, again, maybe you send an email, Dawn, to the town administrator, to the Board of Selectmen, and to the treasurer, letting them know about that piece with the dam on it, that the planning board's, you know, would everybody agree with me on that, or do you want
Yeah.
to take a vote
No,
on
I
it?
agree. No, I agree.
Okay, so the planning board's in agreement that we probably want to not take that piece of land by tax title. So,
Is that something that we need to put to a vote to have down?
you think we should have a vote?
If it's an official recommendation from us?
Didn't do any harm, so it wouldn't do any harm to vote.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion that basically states the planning board is recommending the 2/10 acre parcel of land associated with Tobin Farms Estates, which has the dam upon it, not be taken by tax title by the town of Dudley?
I'll, excuse me, make a motion that we do make the recommendation to the Board of Selectmen, treasurer, and anybody else involved, that we leave parcel 104-0-3-0-0 on Dudley Oxford Road, rather than taking possession of it.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous?
You can email us twice, or would you rather have like, a memo?
You can just make a memo and send it in an email, via email, that's fine.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, because we took a vote on it, so.
Yep.
Just note in the memo that it was voted unanimously, but not to take it. Due to, you know, obviously,
Concerns.
due to
Liability.
liability and cost to the town for the future. Okay, so that should take care of Tobin Farms. The next one, Misty Meadow Estates. That's older than I am.
We have no idea where the developer is, correct? Is that that?
I don't know, that one's bankrupt.
Yeah, the first guy went bankrupt, the second guy is bankrupt, and I won't even say it. Yeah, so that both developers that previously owned that are bankrupt for sure.
I think at this point, we'll keep the money we have on escrow and
Yeah,
as need
because
be,
there seems to
deal
be,
with the catch basin.
there seems to be catch basin problems there that arise from time to time, and we've taken money out of that escrow account to pay for it.
Probably best to leave it there for that purpose, I think.
Right,
Mm.
because they're probably gonna keep deteriorating over time. So, okay,
I don't think it's final pavement.
no,
There's not much traffic either, so.
no. The next one on the list, Partridge Hill Road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's before the selectmen, so
Yeah.
it's their thing right now.
And
I
you,
don't know what's gonna happen tonight, we have a hearing, but I think that they're scheduling a special town meeting on the 26th of July, most likely.
okay.
Most likely we'll do it. It's coming Monday,
And our hearing is what day?
27th.
So the day after we would have the hearing, if it's approved.
What's that?
So if the Board of Selectmen work out all the details on the 26th, and
July
it's,
26th.
July 26th, I'm sorry.
yeah, and it's approved, then we have the hearing, the public hearing the next day?
No, because we're June
Public
27th.
hearing,
Yeah,
Oh,
27th of June.
July.
yeah.
okay, so we're gonna have the public
2
hearing,
weeks.
we're gonna have the
Well, I had
public,
to schedule everything up front.
all right, so we're gonna have the public hearing regardless. If the
Yeah.
Board of Selectmen work out a deal, we'll be all set to go.
The way we worded the hearing notice is that it's for the next available special town meeting, whatever that turns out to be.
Okay,
You have a definite date at the time, so that covers it.
all right. That's easy enough then.
Mhm.
And then, under item D, we had two final inspections with site plans, including Dunkin' Donuts and Amp Solar. Dunkin' Donuts looks like they're pretty close.
Just about finished. I don't know if you want to have Jeff Walsh come down and take a look at that, but look at the site plan originally, but not a whole lot on that one.
The only thing I saw driving by, it looked like it was ready to go with the exception of the doors on the dumpster corral.
Mm.
There was no doors on the dumpster corral. Other than that, everything else looks pretty good.
I don't know what your opinion is on that one, if you want to come down and take a look. He's in town, but
Yeah, I mean, if he's in town, have him do a final inspection and give us a letter.
the Amp Solar, that's the one on West Dudley Road, and it's been quite a thing with erosion.
With what?
Erosion.
Erosion?
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that solar farm, have they started it, or is it finished, or
Getting near the end.
it's getting near the end? This is the one that's like up on top of the big hill.
That's what the homeowner on Fish Road was complaining about, right?
Right.
Last year?
Fish Row, yes.
But there
I
was,
think, I presume they're taking care of that.
there was some agreement worked out between the owner and himself,
Yeah.
because he removed his lawsuit. And we will get a final inspection on that from
Definitely on that one.
Mr. Graves. Graves Engineering. Is Graves been out to the cell phone tower at Universal Tag yet?
He wasn't involved in that one, that was waived.
It was waived. So there's no inspections from the town,
Well, the building inspector, and
that's all. Okay. All right, because I know they're moving along pretty good. When I drove by there and looked, there was footing in the ground for our foundation in the ground for the tower, and the pad was in for the shed that holds the accessory equipment, and now they have a fence around all of that, so I can't imagine it'd be too long before they put the tower up.
no.
So, okay.
Can you see that from the road? Can you see
Yeah.
all that?
Well, yeah,
I drive by every day,
I
but-
drove in.
Oh, okay.
You're on the planning board. Okay, so that takes care of item D. There are no public hearings tonight. Discussion on the status of economic development planning, including integration of 2015 Village District Study and scheduling of Village District Walk. And B, Phase 2 Economic Development Strategic Plan, commencement of Phase 2 Work Plan.
Village District Walk, it looks like we're scheduling that on sometime in July,
Okay.
a Saturday.
I was gonna say a Saturday on July.
Do we know if it's morning or afternoon?
Talked to a couple of, no, I don't know what I can do on that one, Pam, but try to get it in the afternoon for you. Depends on what people are, how long they can hold their interest, I guess.
I wanna-
Do you bring lunch or do you bring breakfast? That's the question.
I want to make sure you invite Mr. Mazziotti to that.
Yes.
Actually, I talked to him today, he's still interested in economic development, though.
Mark's on the Economic Development
We're
Committee?
still interested, though.
Oh,
Okay. Well, keep us
As far as
posted.
that, beginning date, I spoke to Ron, CMRPC, a couple days ago. There's another grant that's coming in that if they come in at the same time, and the money's just gonna come in together, they can do a lot more in the same time frame, because they'll have a lot more capability, staff capability and whatnot, to do a lot more of the in-depth work. If they don't, well, with phase two, we plan, but we have a possibility to augment phase two to get more done. In a nutshell, that's what it is, but
Okay.
should know in about 2 weeks, because I think they need to know before the fiscal year, so.
So do you think they'd recommend delaying the commencement of phase two to get the grant to synergize it?
That's what you delay it, just delaying starting it because they don't want to get into something that they can do more efficiently or more effectively. Start all at the same time, there's two separate pools of money.
Okay.
And they should know about that in 2 weeks, you said?
Before the end of the month.
Okay. Is there anything else on the planner's plate?
We've been through it, but I'm planning on, I came in Monday this week. I don't usually do that, but I think there was a lot to take a look at before this meeting, so I came in Monday instead of Thursday, I guess.
Okay.
I won't be here tomorrow, but one thing I am doing tomorrow, I'm planning to, is this one, positioning priority development areas for success. We have a priority development area, and this is about how we can enhance them. It's 8:30 to 10:30 tomorrow morning in Westboro, so I'm planning on going.
Okay. Is there a fee for that?
It's my kind of price.
All right.
And I won't be here tomorrow, but you know you can reach me. if you need
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
Yeah. And on all the emails and things going out, feel free to CC us and
Yeah.
we'll plan out dates and get
Right.
things working.
And if you get the information on the light poles for Rocky Hill, and you wanna
That's
type up
okay.
a letter for that in next week, early next week, and you need somebody to sign it,
Yeah.
I can come in and sign it, no problem.
Okay.
Just let me know.
Very good.
Any comments from the planning board?
Congratulations, Dan, on winning your election.
Thank you.
And I'll say, for the people who don't know, that Mr. Marziati, our former chairman, has not elected to run for re-election, so there was two other gentlemen who did get elected to the one seat that was open, his seat, basically, each with 12 votes, so once they figure out who's gonna get that seat, we'll have another new member, so I would say, once we have a full board again, we will reorganize the board.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could, Dawn, if you wouldn't mind, I think if you see the town administrator's office, or maybe Michelle, somebody should have one of those certificates that they send out to thank people for their time and effort on the board. So I think we should get one of those certificates sent out for Mr. Mazziotti, thanking him for his time on the board. Mark was on,
He will be missed.
yeah, he was on quite a long time, over 10 years. And was very good under pressure and a very good chairman, so we'll miss him. But if you could get a certificate for him to be sent out, that would be great. And I don't know if there's any place on there for it to be signed. If there is, if you bring it to a planning board meeting, we'll all sign it.
Yep.
And send it out to him.
I'm not sure just when the selectmen will be making the vote, when we can get a joint vote. If they can do it as early as Monday, I can post a meeting tomorrow for the joint meeting. Is that, or somebody post it for me? Is there anything the board would want to do? If they can get together by Monday?
If they, so.
Not this Monday, it'll probably be, I think, next one will probably be July 2nd, so.
So Don's saying that he thinks that there might be a joint vote between the planning board and the board of selectmen to pick one of the two people.
How would we do that? Just go by our gut, or just
Have them give a,
Reference.
a little speech?
it'd be like a job interview. They'd come in and they would say, this is why I feel I'm good for the job, and this, why I would make a good candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Each give their background, their education, things like that.
And we
then-
just vote on it.
And then we would just vote, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if that's the way if that's the way it's gonna work, I know that would be much cheaper than holding a special election.
Definitely, definitely.
If that's something they can put together,
This is how it works.
send out an email,
Right.
because I think we could probably get 3 people here for a Board of Selectmen meeting. We usually meet on a Monday
Monday,
night.
I could,
depends
yeah,
on the
I could
day.
probably- I could probably make it.
It's a
Can you make
joint
it on a
meeting,
Monday,
it's a joint
Dan?
meeting, it's like one big board. They take one vote.
Is that something that John could fill in as an alternate if
No.
needed?
No.
You can only vote on matters that pertain to zoning as an alternate.
Essential matters of the board.
Maybe the candidate who didn't get selected might be interested in the alternate position too,
It's possible.
possible.
Yeah, we used to have that, like, the person who got the second most votes, we used to offer them the alternate's position.
Hmm.
We can always have 2 alternates if we wanted to,
Yes, you could, yeah, sure.
because sometimes
An alternate in
Right.
the bylaws, so.
one can't make it, the other one can, that's great. Because I know John's also on
Economic.
economic development, so he might be busier than the other candidate, I don't know. I mean, not saying that we're throwing John off, because he volunteered and he's done a great job for us.
Hmm. Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt to have 2. All right,
Sounds good to
I
me,
don't think
though.
we're gonna have any comments from the audience, so
I think we already did.
Yeah.
if anybody wants to make a motion to adjourn,
I'll make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
we have a motion, do we have a second?
I will second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, good night.